Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back, you beautiful Jews and Gentiles, to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show with I, Messenger Christopher, Spirit World X on YouTube, to the Most High Division of our Trinity, the Chosen One, to you Muslim brothers and sisters, the Mahdi, and to all the rest of you bloodlines that belong to the Gentile Conscious Collective, here as fail-safe protocol rebalancing conscious controls without knowing it, I extend a hello to you as well. It's time, brothers and sisters, for us to truly come to grips with what is going on not only in our minds, but in our nations. Before I start, I would like to, first of all, thank the Most High Division of our Trinity, that being the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, for another opportunity to deliver a transmission to you that, of course, by now, I'm sure you are somewhat familiar with, a transmission that has everything to do with your reaping and sowing potential, what is known in the reality of authentic metaphysics, your electromagnetic manifest power, which, of course, is what we, the co-creative Christ conscious collective, Jewish, melanated nuclear family, also called high vibrational or yang conscious collective, use to convert or reincarnate through the high and low vibrational avatars that we in this, our co-created matrix program, travel through. It is by that electromagnetic manifest potential that we, the melanated nuclear family, Jews, who for thousands of years have gotten accustomed to being called Gentiles, who've gotten accustomed to being called black or Negroes, have gotten ourselves into the conditions, the psychosocial conditions that we are presently in, not by our own choosing, might I add, but by the choosing of individuals within our ranks, our genetic ranks, who call themselves our leaders, specifically individuals within the melanated men and women who aspire to continue to advance false religion. Those religions being Islam, those religions being Christianity. We are the Christ who, for thousands of years, have been shedding our own blood by every reincarnation in which we existed with low vibrational perception under the corrupt, diabolical, psychologically abusive control of those within our race who have the audacity to maintain these corrupt, psychosocial, geopolitical, I'm sorry, I dropped something that I must pick up. So I'm going to go ahead and look for what I dropped. Please give me a moment. I don't want to lose any of lose sight of the topics that I want to discuss here in this Worldwide Paradigm Shift clip upload, because I don't want any of you brothers, whether Jew or Gentile, to be lost in the sauce of the chaos and confusion that is presently being administered through social media and the media stations that you are used to being conditioned by and programmed by. These individuals throughout our melanated community, calling themselves spiritual leaders, leaders of countries, presidents of the African nations, individuals who are a part of the foundational Black American psychosocial geopolitical conditioning that for the most part has gotten us nowhere with all of the yearly pandering and discourse that these individuals display so as to keep your focus and keep your mind stayed on nothing beneficial to you as the co-creative, grand equalizing, electromagnetically converting, interdimensional in conscious awareness, force, and seventh sensory in perception, collective conscious force that, of course, not only created this Matrix program, but created the present avatars that we are in, as well as the avatars of all other nations of people and all the elements and all the animals. All of the supports that are consciously contributing to our infinite electromagnetic conversion. These individuals, they are very defiant in this, the day of our redemption, in that they are spending major time in not only attempting to hijack this redemption process, but to as well hijack this process by censoring my channel on YouTube, having individuals watch all of my videos and take all of the information out of them, creating their own videos, putting fake date and timestamps on their videos and putting them up onto YouTube with date and timestamps for 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. These individuals, in collusion with other so-called content creators, who I'm going to mention a few in just a moment here. I have to look at what I have recorded on paper so that I don't miss anybody that I want to mention at this moment. These individuals in collusion to hijack this redemption process and keep humanity in a degraded state of conscious awareness so that you do nothing more than self-destruct and destroy this Matrix program. In the end, for who? For the egos that call themselves our present leadership. They being the all-bloodline Gentile nations. Of course, once again, in collusion with the leaders of the African American and African communities worldwide. Now, what I'd like to do is go ahead and commence reading the gems that I would like you to hear at this time. so that you have an opportunity to truly understand what is going on right now across the world in the psycho-social, geopolitical, religious, scientific, social construct and communities. Okay? A lot of you brothers and sisters, you are presently being literally fooled into believing that the system can work. Many of you have voted for Mr. Trump, and of course he has told you that if you vote for him, he will make this country, America, great again. He will do everything he can to get rid of the deep state. He will do everything he can to make sure that you're working and capable of taking care of your families. He will do everything that he can to ensure that your borders are safe, so that this country is not overrun by individuals who are searching for a greater opportunity than the ones they have available to them in their countries, in their respective countries. And by the way, I want to, in regards to those countries these individuals are coming from, and they're coming from, by the way, I want to say, is, of course, being orchestrated by the very same individuals who have been controlling the economic conditions that maintain the survival of these individuals in their respective countries. So they are attempting to leave their countries as a result of the geopolitical structure that is being controlled by the by the individuals who control Europe and America. And of course, the other Gentile states who are participating in the trade policies, the tariffs, and the psychosocial religious conditioning of the people. Well, these people wouldn't be coming to this country if they didn't have to deal with the economic disenfranchisement and marginalization that they have to deal with under the control of the Fed. I'll say in short. Now, speaking on the jobs that Mr. Trump has promised all of you individuals who have been able to survive what he calls the deep state's attempt on taking all of you out of here. Meanwhile, Mr. Trump is a part of the deep state. Mr. Trump, the deep state is controlled by the five sensory and three-dimensional in conscious awareness hive mind that presently sustains our low vibrational third eye blind programming and conditioning that is, of course, being orchestrated throughout the media and has been orchestrated throughout the media for hundreds of years. Of course, you can think back to the propaganda machines of Germany when you want to consider how it is these leaders place us under a programming and conditioning model so as to maintain control over a greater awareness of who we are and what we are truly capable of, not only as the melanated nuclear family, but as Gentiles as well, especially the high vibrational aspect of the all bloodline Gentile conscious control collective, who manifested out of melanated genetics to rebalance the frequency of the co-creative Christ conscious Yang conscious collective. As the Yin conscious collective, they manifested to rebalance our frequency. Well, to move on, these jobs that are being promised to all of you in America and throughout Africa, where you have individuals like Ibrahim Traore telling you, all of you African brothers and sisters, that it's now time for all of you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and to start industrializing yourselves, gaining help from all of the individuals who he is collaborating with. He and Nana Akufo-Addo and all the rest of these so-called presidents of Africa are collaborating with in the Gentile nations to, of course, hijack this redemption process, and so that, of course, you, the African nations, continue on a process of conscious degrade, conscious awareness degrade, and destruction of your electromagnetic manifest reaping and sowing potential. Your thinking is magnetic. You have the capacity to literally change the earth with your thinking. However, by this low vibrational conditioning, by your identity model, where you're nothing more than a nigger, where you're nothing more than a second-class citizen, where you're nothing more than another Gentile just walking on the earth, as opposed to you having your authentic identity, this electromagnetic manifest power that you are being pulled away from by your identity model, your survival model, your conversion model, the natural order of your electromagnetic infinite reincarnation conversion, has the power to change all of the conditions that you're presently dealing with. These individuals across Africa and across the world, in the melanated communities, influencing you to do all you can to work hard in a class, caste, psychosocial system that doesn't recognize your value, even after they've taken your identity and called you nothing more than a Gentile. These individuals offering you money at the moment and giving you an opportunity to invest in Bitcoin, invest in artificial intelligence, invest in gold. These individuals know full well that robots are soon to have all access to employment. Why is that? Because the five sensory, three-dimensional in conscious awareness and five sensory in perception corporate hive mind do not want any of you alive at this moment. They would rather have you gone so that their robots can take care of them for the rest of the time that this matrix program has to sustain life. And that's why it's so important for you at this moment, brothers and sisters, to realize your place, your true value, not the value of your wallet, but the value of your electromagnetic manifest potential. And we will get further into the depths of that value very shortly. But this is the moment that this moment is very crucial. These individuals attempting you to influence you to believe that everything is going to be okay and you're going to be all right. They are nothing but great deceivers involved in attempting to hijack this redemption process out of my hands and out of the hands of the authentic Most High division of our authentic Trinity. These people cannot be trusted at all. So what I'm going to do at the moment is give you a little further information in regards to what I've just went over. Excuse me, a little itchy throat. And I'm going to, of course, give you as much follow-up as information as you need at this moment until the next Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show video upload, which, of course, they're going to be coming to you every other day, every day or every other day over the next few weeks into December. We're going to have the 12 days of Christ X, Christopher Spirit World X on YouTube. And I want to also say thank you to the musical contributors to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show, all of them unknowing, they being Public Enemy with their songs Terminator X, Welcome to the Terror Dome, Night Train, and of course Minister Louis Farrakhan. He was, of course, acknowledged in that music as well. I want to thank all of you, gentlemen, for your contribution to the worldwide musical contribution to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show. I also want to commend and thank the awesome orchestration, musical orchestration of the individuals who created all of the music on the Two Steps from Hell album. These individuals, they are amazing. These are our Gentile brothers and sisters who, for some odd reason, they knew that this music had to be created. And it's just amazing how it perfectly fits this moment for me. I want to thank you for the songs Cry. I want to thank you for the songs Victory. I want to thank you for the songs Strength of 1,000 Men. And all the other songs that, of course, have been used in this Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show video compilation. Brothers and sisters, I know that you've thought up until this moment that I was a joke. I know that you probably thought that I had to have been out of my mind. I understand that as a result of your deep concern for your present moment under your false reality narrative, that you probably didn't pay too much attention to the words I have been speaking. But what I need you to understand at this moment in time is that each and every one of you are as close to hell as you could imagine. And this moment is the most amazing moment in your lifetimes. So please do not for a moment think that we here, the producers of this Worldwide Paradigm Shift show, are soon to fall off. Because as I promised you years ago, I am not going anywhere. I'm going to stay committed, and I'm going to accomplish my goals and get my job done. And here I am, years later, getting my job done. With the assistance of the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, up until this point in time, having constant communication with the angelic empire of our authentic Trinity, I can guarantee you this. You are soon to see all hell break loose in your lives if you do not take my advice. All of you individuals attempting to hijack this process, you will also soon begin to see everything fall apart in your life as a result of me not going anywhere. As a result of everything that I've told you was going to transpire, now transpiring, just as I said it would. I'm looking you directly in the face now. I was looking at my own face a moment ago. However, I am corrected now. I didn't know I was supposed to look here. So, it's such a pleasure to be able to look you in the face. All of you individuals who, for some reason, feel that you are going to have the pleasure of defeating me. I want you to know that the only reason you're still where you are is because I'm not completed with my job yet. But very soon, my job will be completed. And I hope you're prepared for all that's coming to you. I don't want you to have any fear of me. What I'd like you to do is have fear of your choices from this point on. Okay, my beautiful brothers and sisters of the melanated nuclear family, those of Jews and Gentiles, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, of the Jew and Gentile families, who are more given over to having a respect and regard for the spiritual world, here goes nothing. And I ask you to please continue to stay tuned in to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show. It's only going to get better. Your clarity is only going to improve. I promise you that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read what I need to read. I'm not going to look at you, but I want all of you to see what I'm reading from here so that you have an opportunity to know that these communications you're looking at, these communications are communications that have come over the last few days. You know, the Guardians, who are the Most High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, they understand that I deal with a lot of pressure at the moment. They understand that this pressure sometimes sends me reeling emotionally, and I don't have the strength sometimes to go over all that I have written down weeks and months ago. So what they do is they make sure that each time I upload, all of the things that are necessary at this moment in this process of redemption are given to me so that I can transmit them to you. Okay? And what I want you to know is that this is not a joke, brothers and sisters. This is very real. There are individuals who are attempting, well, I'll get to that in a moment. What I want to do now is I want to go ahead and read what I have written. For individuals who believe that the system works, this is for you. And before I go on, what I want to say to you all is I am not in defense of the melanated community. I'm not here in defense of the European, Asian, Arab, Indian, Spanish community and all the other Gentile bloodlines that exist as fail-safe protocol rebalancing conscious controls in this matrix program, so as to bring us to the point where one of us have the opportunity to align so that all of us can align. What I'm in defense of is our natural order of electromagnetic conversion. I am against the unnatural order of the skulls, to whom presently control the five sensory, in perception, three-dimensional and conscious awareness, corporate hive mind. And of course, I'm also in defense of the life forms that are presently being destroyed, who are pre-programmed to contribute their conscious potential to our infinite electromagnetic conversion in this matrix program and through these present avatars that we all exist in. So, I don't want all of you in the melanated community to get your hopes up, because as you know, if you're a Christian, in the Bible, it tells you that judgment will start with the Jews, the church, those leaders of the church who, though you're told and though you teach your parishioners to be humble and to not steal and to not lie and to not kill, you presently being a part of the hijacking attempt of this redemption process, content with the belief that God is going to take care of you, when the reality is that you are the Most High, called children of the Most High by the Gentile translation of the truth, you will face judgment first, all of you. Now, there are many of you Gentiles who, when a few years ago I told you that you were born, you racists were born for this moment where you get to come against the low vibrational and perception melanated community, when at first you believed that I was all for you, that is simply not the truth. I told you that because I knew that it would activate these brothers and sisters who are not spiritual to a higher field of vibration. It would get them closer to aligning with the truth of their natural order of electromagnetic conscious conversion. Got it? And it would also amplify a negative energy transfer. That negative energy transfer from the melanated man and woman, as a result of you coming against them, would amplify the three-dimensional conscious awareness of the Gentile conscious controls. And they, of course, I knew at the time, would start putting pressure on my people, on the Jewish collective. And that pressure would result in, as I said a moment ago, them choosing to lean more on the Spirit for help. Because as I mentioned to my brothers and sisters of the Melanated Nuclear Host, co-creative Christ Yang Conscious Collective, equalizer to all lesser conscious contributive conversions, including yours, my Gentile brothers and sisters, and the animals, my Gentile brothers and sisters, I knew that it would bring them closer to desiring alignment with their natural order. Now, what I want you to understand, my brothers and sisters of the Gentile nations who've been promised that you're going to be able to survive this moment where not only are your own people involving you in wars, not only are your own people forcing you to limit your capacity to procreate by taking the JOB, Dr. Fauci and his Asian compatriots' serums. Although you may believe that you're going to make it through this moment by these very same individuals who maintain your psychosocial, geopolitical, religious conditioning and your three-dimensional programming and the five sensory depth perception stimulation conditioning that you are under, you will not survive if you choose to go against the melanated nuclear family, to whom your presence on this planet would not exist if it weren't for them pre-programming you to come out of their genetics to produce a realigned conscious capacity. And I am the product of that realignment. You won't make it. You will not survive. Have you ever seen an individual on stage singing to an audience, all of a sudden just faint from out of nowhere, lose all focus, lose all their bearings, their moorings, and they just fall out? Well, this is what you will have to deal with. And your guns, feeling as if you arm yourself up and you arm yourselves, being influenced by the chaos content creators to whom want you to believe that you're going to be replaced, and want to put you in fear into believing that your enemies exist outside of you. No matter what you do to protect yourselves, there is no way to protect yourself except for you aligning your high and low vibrational aspect, and I'm speaking to you Gentile brothers and sisters, to as close a high vibrational, yang conscious, yang co-creative, Christ conscious alignment as you possibly can. And if you don't, well, I can assure you all hell will break loose in all of your plans. It is necessary for you, brothers and sisters, to understand what your alignment requires. It requires you to stop abusing the animal kingdom, stop eating animals, stop degrading and destroying the environment for the so-called resources that you claim you need to survive. These resources that you claim you need to survive are finite, and your digging up the ground for them is destroying this matrix program. And as long as I am in alignment, as long as I'm in constant conscious connection with the Most High division of our Trinity, I will not let you destroy this matrix. I will make sure that you are all destroyed first. And that's what judgment is all about. But remember, my Jewish brothers and sisters, my African and black brothers and sisters, remember, judgment starts with the house of Israel. And whether you want to call yourself an Israelite and you're a Gentile, or you're an authentic Israelite or Jew, the so-called black man and woman, the so-called black African man and woman, judgment will start with you. And of course, because you're all blended together in your advance toward modernism and your advance toward artificial intelligent control, well, you will be brought to an end before you reach your goal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read what I have to read so that I can get this video upload done. I'm now at 42 minutes and 7 seconds. While we, the co-creative Christ Yang Conscious Collective, the Jewish race, are existing under a Gentile-controlled programming, three-dimensional programming and conditioning that exacerbates emotional instability for negative energy transfer purposes from our females, from our Jewish females to the Gentile males, and from our Jewish males to Gentile females. Our identity narrative as infinite spirit beings hijacked, replaced with a delegation, the delegation of being poor, second class, by Gentile psychosocial class caste conditions, to electromagnetically, give me 1 second, to electromagnetic dysfunction, trading off true wealth for what we are being told is real wealth, being influenced to talk slang, being influenced to put on a narrative as if we're cool and tough, as if we can handle anything, and we're going to be the men and the women who take ourselves by our bootstraps and overcome whatever obstacles we have to overcome, despite our being economically marginalized, disenfranchised, despite the fact that we know for a fact that nothing is fair, and we continue to influence each other to continue dealing with all that we're dealing with. Somehow it'll all change. Influencing each other to believe that by influencing each other, being influenced, I should say, by funded Jewish, that means black men and women, whether they're kids, whether they're teenagers, whether they're young adults, or whether they're older individuals. All of you older individuals who belong to the churches and the mosques, Co-conspirators, whether you're rappers, radio, TV personalities, basketball players, sports aficionados, those of you who believe that that's where your value lies and that's how you're going to make it from here to there. Meanwhile, influencing your people to nothing in respect to self-awareness and true value, the value of their true identity. Influencing each other to believe that if we act tough, if we pray hard enough, if we're humble enough, or we hustle and swindle hard enough, we'll have an opportunity to go from broke to rich, from nobody to somebody, from a sinner to being saved. Brothers and sisters, what I want you to know is these manipulations, brothers and sisters who are unaware of what's going on when you're watching television and, of course, controlled media, and you're being entertained by individuals of your race, whether you're a white female who is paid to advertise artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, buying gold, whether you're a white, and now I don't want to hear, well, even though my man is paying me to do this, he's making sure that our families are going to be okay in the future. That's not true. They wish you to have no reproductive capacity. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is wake up and smell the coffee of redemption. Whether you are a melanated man or woman, watching your own brothers and sisters manipulate you into believing that gold is where your identity's at, and diamond chains and all this simple, stupid shit that can take you nowhere, and beef and cheese and milk and butter and eggs and chicken legs are what you need to sustain your identity and what you need to maintain yourself. Meanwhile, you have high blood pressure. Meanwhile, you have the worst health of the majority of the bloodlines on this planet. Of course, you know, over in Europe, those individuals who do everything they can to sabotage the food system in Africa, those who, of course, keep themselves away from all of the poisoning of foods that are being served here in America. You know, these individuals don't even, you know, they don't even want to come close to the toxic fueling of their bodies that you and I are presently in, under the belief that we need to align our minds with, okay? But what I want you to know, my beautiful brothers and sisters of the spiritual communities who want to truly align your frequency with our natural order of electromagnetic conscious conversion, that electromagnetic order that was pre-programmed millions of years ago, so that you and I can maintain our infinite conversion reincarnation capacity. What I want you to know about these psychopaths who you're watching is these influences and manipulations are the psychosocial conditioning building blocks to a multi-level blood sacrifice agenda conspiracy that is purposed to degrade human co-creative Christ Yang conscious interdimensional awareness, seventh sensory perception, purpose to destroy the electromagnetic manifest potential, our electromagnetic conversion capacity. It's purposed to support the destruction of lesser conscious, electromagnetic conscious conversion contribution. It degrades and destroys the health of our physical bodies, our lower vibrational avatars, that is the fail-safe protocol, non-standard matrix avatars, and also degrade and destroy our reproductive capacity. Our and all lesser electromagnetic conscious contributions, reproductive, environment, air, land, and sea supports. Now, I understand that you individuals who are in control of hijacking this redemption process, those of you who've been hiding behind the scenes to do everything you can to confuse all of the brothers and sisters of your prospective bloodlines, Jew and Gentile. You're probably wondering, why do I believe that I am? What right do I have, I should say, to do what I'm doing? What right do I have to make these proclamations? If I were not aligned, I wouldn't have the capacity to tell you, the Gentiles, who you are, or who the Jew is, or how, by what electromagnetic processes you both exist. Hence, because I am aligned, you no longer, I want to look you in the eyes when I tell you this, you no longer can assume your corrupted jurisdiction over them. Your desire to continue functioning in conscious dysfunction, they can no longer be forced to participate without it costing you everything. I'll say that again. They can no longer be forced to participate in your conscious dysfunction, your disruption of the natural order of our conversion. And if you do attempt to force them to participate, well, it will cost you everything, as I said a moment ago. Your abusive ownership of our Matrix program is also no longer yours. Your defiance, it will cost you everything. You bribe with money, influencing everyone to believe that they can have it all. And what good is having it all? What good is that when you know that you intend to have robots take all their jobs? When all their jobs are intended to be replaced by robots. What good is having it all when our skies, our land and sea are being sacrificed in accordance with the long ago set into motion blood sacrifice agenda, which is underpinned by which underpins the human conscious, the human co-creative Christ conscious or Yang conscious human degrade agenda, human conscious degrade agenda. What good is having it all? Okay? Give me a moment, please. So what I want you to know is, in accordance or along with what I have just read to you, brothers and sisters, I'm sorry, I want to go back to saying what I said a moment ago, not to you so-called leaders, but to my brothers and sisters of the Gentile nations and the Jewish nations. Okay? I'm going to read one more time what I read to you a moment ago. And this time I'll get it right. I have a lot there, and kind of gets a little confusing when you take the time to do as much writing as I have done here, editing. These are the psychosocial conditioning building blocks to a multi-level blood sacrifice agenda conspiracy that inverts our conscious, co-creative, Christ-conscious, three-divisional Trinity reality, whereas opposed to existing as the co-creative, Christ-conscious, reincarnating, grand equalizing, middle conscious, electromagnetic division of our three-divisional Trinity, the male and female high vibrational, infinite yang conscious spiritual host to all lesser conscious, electromagnetic contributions and conversions and pre-programmers of all reproductive, biological, psychological, elemental, chemical conversion supports, we are instead forced to exist by the low vibrational conscious aspect of our yang co-creative Christ conscious and their yin conscious rebalancing protocol, hijacking Gentile conspirators to acknowledge ours to acknowledge ourselves, I'm sorry, please forgive me, as nothing more than creations. We are way more than creation. As of course, I hope you all have the knowledge of at the moment. We are way beyond just creations. Now, speaking of creations, I want to talk about the present flying monkeys that are working to use sleight of hand and speech. Okay, and the individuals I want to mention are Reno Speaks Riches, John Clements. Now, John Clements is a Gentile. Of course, there are many individuals who are working to attempt this hijacking of our redemption process, who are throughout the media period, especially those who are participating in the program Ancient Aliens and the network Gaia. All of these individuals are presently working as the Gentile co-conspirators to hijack this redemption process. But John Clements, I mentioned him, he's on YouTube. He's working to influence the European man that he's the chosen one. And, you know, he needs to prepare to get his gun and go out and hunt the animals and control his woman so that, you know, he can survive, when all hell breaks loose. And he's nothing more than a lying, deceptive scumbag, if you ask me. If you ask the, let me just skip over that. Let's see, we have Sister Nikki G. Now, Sister Nikki G, see, brothers and sisters, the sleight of hand and the sleight of speak that these people are using is so subtle. And the reason why you don't know that these people are not working for your betterment but against it is because they come on to YouTube and they open up their videos with praise the Lord. May God bless you. And I would just want to say thank God for allowing us to come together one more time so that we could have an opportunity as the chosen people of God to, meanwhile, what you don't know is your God narrative is false. Your Bible even tells you that God is not a him. Meanwhile, all of your leadership say to you when they're talking to you that he's a jealous God. God is a jealous God, and he is a jealous God. He wants you to do that's all fake. None of it's even real. You are the co-creator of this Trinity, of this Matrix program. Of course, you and the highest division of our conscious Trinity, which is a very powerful conscious force, and of course, at this moment, assisting me to ensure that you all have an opportunity to align with our natural order of conversion through our creation program. But this conscious force is not just a singular conscious force. It is a interdimensional field of consciousness that works to balance out our individual and divided psychological state. That, of course, is comprised of our what we call our strength and our weakness, our dark side, our light side, and our gray side of consciousness, which of course is maintained by present emotional instability. So everything that these individuals do to, of course, lure you in is nothing more than manipulation. Now, Sister Nikki G, I want to say hello, Sister Nikki. How are you? What I want you to know is that I understand why you have the faith that you do. I understand why it is you continue to, along with Sabrina Cherie, to come on to YouTube, knowing that you are funded to do what you're doing. And of course, we know that the False Christ Church has a 501(c) clearance, meaning that any money that you pull in by the propagation of the false doctrine that you are promoting, you, of course, you pay part of it to the system, who maintains the capacity for the False Christ Church to exist, and who also maintains the low vibrational survival model and the foods that you're presently eating. And of course, the dollar bills that you and I have been using for hundreds and thousands of years now, whether it be a gold piece or whether it be a dollar bill or a gold cent. I understand, I want you to understand that I overstand why it is they allow you to exist without paying any taxes. It's because of the reality that the False Christ Church is a part of the human co-creative Christ conscious or Yang conscious collective degrade conspiracy underpinned by the blood sacrifice agenda, to which, of course, the meat you're eating and the animals you're torturing and abusing psychologically are being forced to supply your sustenance. So, Sister Nikki is someone you can find on YouTube, and what you will hear from her is, and you'll see, by the way, Sabrina Cherie, I'll explain to you what she does to pull you in, brothers and sisters, to control the grip that this low vibrational system has on your co-creative yang conscious interdimensional awareness and seventh sensory perception, and of course the degrade of your electromagnetic manifestation potential. Sister Nikki G talks about how it is she has written a book called Becoming a Master of Divine Consciousness. Now, any of you who have bought her book, you know for a fact that everything that this individual is ascribing to be the truth certainly is nothing more than what you've heard already going to church over the past few thousand years, of course, or going to the mosque, or reading books on the laws, the universal laws that are so-called governing our present existence. And brothers and sisters, I will tell you now that if you haven't heard her speak the words I have spoken, well, Sister Nikki, I don't want to defame you. However, we are coming to a point where we have to cut all the fat off of you meat eaters, if I could say that. We have to cut the fat off, and we only want to deal with the truth at this moment. Nothing you can tell these people has anything to do with divine consciousness, all right? Divine consciousness is the awareness of the co-creative Christ, Yang conscious, melanated, host, Jewish nuclear family that you are misrepresenting. Having the knowledge of who we are and how we are the co-creator of this matrix program, and how we convert by the electromagnetic manifest power of our minds. That is having divine consciousness. Now, other individuals, Kaytroya J. Kaytroya J can be found on YouTube attempting to make it appear as if she is standing up against those who are attempting to hijack this redemption process, while my channel is being censored, and it appears as if nobody watches my videos because the algorithm has been pre-programmed to control all of the thumbs up or the view count. This woman is given free reign to claim she is one of the chosen ones, and her sleight of speech, her sleight of hand comes in when she, after she says to the chosen community, oh, these son of a bees, they think they have gotten over, but the law's getting ready to come after them, and they're going to be locked up in prison, and they're going to, karma's coming to kick that ass, and blah, 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 blah. Where the sleight of hand comes in is when she shows you a bowl of fish and lo mein noodles. And of course, brothers and sisters, the reason why you might find her doing that, and Sabrina Sari and all of these individuals, I've heard Reno Speaks Riches. He's another individual who is being used to hijack this redemption process. Redemption requires that you not eat meat. So what these individuals are told to do is show you a bowl of flesh that they're preparing while they're doing their live video. Have a mukbang while you're talking about this, while you're talking about the chosen one and the processes that he is presently dealing with at the moment, so as to literally, and they're doing this literally, of course, to keep your frequency misaligned from your natural order of conversion. Now, by your frequency being misaligned, you transmit negative energy to the Gentile conscious collective low vibrational aspect, 5 sensory, in perception, 3-dimensional in conscious awareness, corporate hive mind, who, of course, are attempting to give all of your jobs to robots, whether you're white or black, and who are attempting to feed you genetically modified organisms while they're taking all of the foods you should be eating out of the woods. Okay? So remember, by your negative energy transfer, they have, and of course, your compliance to your low vibrational survival model, well, guess what? They get to destroy all of you soon. Take that to the bank. Reno Speaks Riches, Ketroya J, and all the rest of you clowns. Speaking of clowns, I want to talk to you about this gentleman who has We the Chosen Ones Ministries. This gentleman is also attempting to influence you all to believe that he is standing up like the rest of these fake chaos content creators, these very manipulative, sadistic individuals who will do anything for a dollar. These individuals who will do anything to not see the world Christ conscious community of the 3-divisional trinity electrochemical magnetic radio frequency spectrum come to fruition. These psychopaths, while my channel again is being censored, these individuals are given free rein to do all they can, say everything they can to hijack this redemption process. And that's not going to happen because my knowledge and the knowledge of who you are, where you are, how you exist goes on and on and on and on. I want you to know that. And to you brothers and sisters who are fortunate enough to take this advice and to not view me as a threat to you, I want you to know that you and I are reflections of each other. There is no big you or little me. There is no big me and little you. But when I am speaking on this camera to the world, I may feel a little disgruntled with certain things that I'm saying to the enemies of our soul. And you may feel slightly offended and feel that I am a rash individual. But if you could understand what is on the line right now, you would understand why I do get a little emotional and unruly with these psychopaths, these sycophants, these hidden in the closet pedophiles, and these men who think that, yeah, it's okay to have a relationship with a man and sleep with a robot. These sick individuals, if you knew what was on the line, you would understand why I do get agitated as I do. And I want you to know that I mean you no harm. However, I am the leader of the soon-to-be free world. And I take this job very seriously. If that weren't the case, certainly I'd be, taking every opportunity I can, knowing that I'm protected, to go have a drink or go party or do something that is incapable of taking me anywhere fast. I'd be doing that, but I'm not. I'm taking this serious, and the seriousness is only going to compound over the next few video uploads. So prepare for what you're soon to hear. As I've said, I apologize if I have offended any of you individuals who have chosen to truly get your conscious function together and to realize the damage and destruction that you and I are presently participating in with our high vibrational conscious capacities, our conscious contribution capacity to our own infinite existence and our infinite matrix program. Billy Carson, Bobby Hemmett, The Mindset Elevator, Wayne Dwyer, Stephen Darby Ministries. Stephen Darby Ministries, by the way, it looks like he's resurfacing from the dead. He's put out videos over the last few years, since 2021, which was, of course, the beginning of the redemption process. In January of 2021, I started this redemption process. I didn't have anything close to the level of knowledge that I do have at this moment. And I guess this gentleman and the system felt that I was a threat enough that they put their men out there a little too soon, and now they look like they are certainly up to something very, very, very conspicuous. Now, don't they? Well, Stephen Darby Ministries, he looks like he's resurfacing. Bobby Hemmett is also attempting to resurface. I looked at a video of his that he uploaded yesterday, and this video had everything to do with bloodlines and who we are as spirit beings and how it is we are presently functioning out of our natural order of conscious function. And this gentleman, all of them for the most part, especially Bobby Hemmett, Billy Carson, these individuals are coming up with books that they've said their friends sent them so as to influence you individuals to believe that, this hijacking attempt of our redemption process is something that they got a handle on. And I want all of you to know that these people are nothing more than the devil in disguise, okay? They cannot be trusted. Do not trust them. If you do, it will be at your own peril, okay? Your own peril, okay? These content creators are these content creators, brothers and sisters, are used to manage and degrade your male and female yang co-creative Christ conscious contribution capacity, interdimensional, nine-dimensional meaning interdimensional, conscious awareness, seventh sensory perception, and electromagnetic manifest power, so as to keep you, co-creator, in a non-electromagnetic, conscious, aligned psychological state. So you remain open to the Jew and Gentile class caste, psychosocial programming, and 5 sensory depth perception stimulation conditioning strategy that advances an eons old transgenerational blood sacrifice, co-creative Christ conscious, human yang, male and female, high and low vibrational aspect, degrade agenda, to which our enslaved, forced into submission by our own low vibrational, antichrist conscious, corrupted field of perception, psychological, electromagnetically misaligned collective conscious capacity aspects, having the transgenerational audacity and power of forcing compliance to alter the reality of who we are, where we are, and how, by what electromagnetic manifest power and processes we exist, for no greater purpose than of existing outside of higher responsibility as emotionally disturbed children in skirts and suits and ties. Consider African presidents. Consider the G20. When these individuals get an invitation to participate in any of the events in France or any other aspect of the Gentile corporate hive mind control apparatus, these individuals are treated like children. They're put on buses. They're asked to keep themselves separated from the rest of the Gentile community. They're told to only speak what scripts they're given. And then when they come home, they give you their written speeches. Consider how it is these individuals have been degraded to nothing more than children in low vibrational avatars, clothed in skirts, suits, and ties. And this is all they want for you, is to be nothing more than a nobody in a matrix program that your consciousness took part in creating. I'm going to leave everything where it is. I'm going to leave you now at this time. I would like to thank all of you for joining me in this Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show upload, brought to you by the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, the very real and authentic Angelic Empire. And I want to ask all of you to remember the Most High loves you. And if that weren't true, I wouldn't be putting what you guys think my life is on the line. I love you, and I love this Matrix program, and I love good health, and I love a good mind to such a degree that I will sacrifice my own, what you call my so-called life, just so that you have an opportunity to get on board. Get off of the hate train. Get off of the night train, or prepare for the terror dome. Thank you very much for your time. And once again, I would be remiss if I didn't tell all of you psychopaths who've taken the job of flying monkey, good riddance, and carry on.